This is the trap that we're all in. This is the reason why it feels like your spouse is never going to change. But here's your big aha moment. When your spouse says, I'm done with this, I can't do this anymore. They're not saying I'm done with you. They're saying I'm done with this loop right here. But remember, we only know what we know, right? And you both don't even know that you're in a loop. So you identify each other as being the loop. Okay. When the truth is that neither of you are the loop. But yes, you both are stuck in the loop. Does that make sense? So let's get you out of the loop. Yes? So I want you to check out my buddy here. This is Stick Figure Vic. And he's stuck in the broken marriage loop. Okay. Now, I wish I could spend 20 minutes here, but we have to move quickly. So pay attention. The first thing you're going to recognize is that you have a big giant ball and chain right there. Okay. This is the constant memory of pain and hurt. You guys see my blue mouse right here moving? Okay. This is the constant memory of pain and hurt that's in your relationship right now. Next, you have this chain that's at the bottom right here. This chain keeps us all trapped. Your spouse, you guys are all trapped with this chain on there. And then number 3, you have this uphill battle right here. You see that? Your spouse and you are always trying different ways to get along with each other or different ways to get past this hardship that you have or this pain and this hurt. But here's the problem. You see number 4 at the top? Write this down. Stick Figure Vic has no direction. He doesn't really know where they're going or where their marriage is going. He's crawling up this hill, not knowing where he's actually going, trying to manage all of these little marriage skills, right? Not knowing if they're working or not, if it's really making any progress. So this creates the frustration and the fear that I hear in all of your voices when I speak to you on the phone. Okay? This is why you guys have that fear and that frustration. This limbo feeling is why you and your spouse feel like this is never going to work anymore. We're too different now. So pay attention, okay? Because I'm going to play this video for you. And if you miss this, you miss the whole thing. All right, guys and gals. So if you guys are in the kitchen, you guys are getting snacks or anything, call your spouse back. You got to watch this because if you miss this, you miss the whole thing. You ready? Guys and gals, did you see that there? This is the trap that we're all in. This is the reason why it feels like your spouse is never going to change. But here's your big aha moment, okay? When your spouse says, I'm done with this. I can't do this anymore. Okay? Teresa, when they're saying I can't do this anymore, I've got so much resentment. They're not saying I'm done with you. They're saying I'm done with this loop right here. But remember, we only know what we know, right? And you both don't even know that you're in a loop. So you identify each other as being the loop. Okay? When the truth is that neither of you are the loop. But yes, you both are stuck in the loop. Does that make sense? So, John, Nigel, Peter, Teresa, Gayla, Melissa, okay? Let's get you out of the loop. Yes? Type fire emoji in the chat if this is making sense to you. Everyone, in order to break you out of the loop, okay, I need to ask you a couple questions. And I need you to type your answers in the chat so that way I can see them, okay? Now, you can chat them to me privately if this makes you feel a little bit better or anything like that. But keep in mind, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to love you exactly where you are with all your flaws and shortcomings because we have them too, okay? And for you spouses who are doing this together, don't get angry at your spouse's answer because we're all here to lift each other up, right? So I'm going to ask you a couple quick questions to help you out of the loop. You guys ready? Yes? Okay. So I want to ask you for a really honest answer, okay? I want you to think about any kind of sadness, any resentment, or anger that's in the relationship right now. Okay? You guys got it? I want you to feel that. Forget who's around you, forget who's watching, if you're in the car, if you're in your office, forget who's next to you. I just want you to think of the sadness, the resentment, or any anger that's in the relationship right now. Now, from your perspective, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, how much sadness, resentment, or anger do you have towards your spouse right now? Just do me a favor, type the word me and then the number next to it. Yeah, I see you. 5s. I see you, Trisha. Kayla. Teresa. Yep. Karina. 10. Oh, I'm so sorry, Karina. John, I see you there, brother. Now, I want you to ask yourself, how much sadness, resentment, and anger do you think your spouse is holding on to inside their hearts right now? Type that number, spouse, and then type the number. Yeah, John, I see it there. Spouse 10. I'm so sorry, brother. Spouse 10. Teresa, I see it. I see the numbers coming in. Wow. Spouse 8. Yep. Now I have a question for you all. Okay? Listen to this question. Do you believe that this resentment that you have inside, this resentment and anger, will heal itself over time? No, of course it won't, right? Guys and gals, did you know that resentment and peace cannot coexist at the same time? The brain and the body literally cannot process both emotions at the same time. Because one emotion comes from fear and survival right here, and then the other emotion, the peace, comes from hope in the future. You see, a person has to choose which emotion they want to hold on to. Now, yes, I know that the pain can be so unbearable at times. I get it. And I'm not discounting that at all. But what I'm saying is, after the unbearable stage, a person has to choose which feeling to hold on to. You see, I spoke to a wife earlier. I spoke to a wife the other week, and she said they've been separated for 2.5 years. And during the separation, they were still hooking up. They even had a baby during the separation. And she's been getting counseling and help from several people at her church, which is great, right? But as she kept talking about her pain and how much pain he was causing her, I asked her, I said, do you want to heal from this? Do you want to experience true happily ever after love in this relationship? And she said, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to move past this and to be happy again. But they were still hooking up, right? You see, she didn't need me. She needed a counselor or a therapist. You see, guys and gals, as much as Stephanie and I want to help, I can't help somebody who believes that processing pain and healing means choosing to stay right here in this current unresolved pain until time heals it all. Because time doesn't heal it all. It helps, yes, but it doesn't heal. So everyone, please understand that when you and your spouse are harboring this kind of sadness, this kind of hurt and resentment inside, these 8s, these 9s that I see, Peter, I see your 9, I see your 10s, yeah, brother, right? These 7s, these 8s, 9s, look, they're still there, right? When you guys are harboring this sadness and hurt and resentment inside, you're always making decisions about life and your marriage from this pain and resentment. This is why the marriage doesn't get better, because both husband and wife are behaving and making their decisions every day from this hurt right here. And always remember, hurt people hurt people. So here's how you break through, okay? I got this from Pastor Mark once, and he says, some of you may need a new marriage, yes, but you don't need a new spouse. Remember, you only know what you know. And one of the hardest things that you both will have to learn in life, whether you learn this lesson right now with me or it takes you 20 years to learn this lesson, one of the hardest things that you'll have to learn in life is how to make decisions based on the future you and the future marriage that you want to have, not based off of where it is right now. With all this pain, with all this resentment inside, all this anger. Does that make sense? Yes? Guys and gals, it took me 20 years to learn this lesson right here because I had no one to accelerate my learning curve. So I stayed trapped in this cycle, this broken marriage loop. But because of me, you now get to skip to the front of the line. Everything we do together will be aimed at the future marriage you want to have. Okay? Because some of you may need a new marriage, yes, but you don't need a new spouse. You know what? Let me play some fun music for us.
Okay. I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say.
Hopefully you guys are still feeling okay.
Sun is shining down on me. Birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day.
Yeah, I see your hands, yep. You guys feeling better, yes?
God made the universe. Calls me by my name, so it's a good day. Baby in my arms, walking through the neighborhood.
Oh man, let me turn this down for us. Okay. So here's the absolute fastest way all of our clients started hacking their marriage. You ready for this? First, they had to commit to the ultimate marriage hack, all right? They had to make the decision not based on the fear and the uncertainty and the survival mindset that kept them stuck right here. No. They had to make a decision based on the hope and the faith that the deepest intimacy, love, and respect that they actually want is just a few steps away, right? Not months away, but just a few steps away from where they were today, right now. And then they had to commit to everyone else who mattered to them, their family, their children, their in-law, their spouse, right? Guys and gals, I gave them the very best communication skills to break down every barrier and resentment so they could do this correctly. And I'm going to do the same for you. They told their spouse that they found a solution and that this solution is going to break the cycle for good, not these temporary loops, for good. It's going to get rid of all the nonsense, all the setbacks, all the unwanted bad habits and bad behaviors that are in the current marriage right now. Now, your spouse may not believe you, okay? And that's okay. I mean, how could they? Their pain is at an 8, 9, 10, right? Of course, they're not going to believe you. But with this hack, we can drop their pain level down to a 3, 4, 5 within the first 1 or 2 weeks. 50% of their pain gone within the first weeks if you do this correctly. Now, there's a couple problems though. Okay, Peter? First, you cannot promise them things will get better if you don't commit to the hack first, because every other process out there takes months to years to heal. Okay? The next problem is once you do this, the clock starts ticking. Everyone will be watching to see if you can get yourself out of the loop or if you really are the loop. Oh, that's a big one. So if you're not ready to commit to the hack and get the family out of the loop, then please don't even try it yet because it'll backfire on you. Because all the 100%ers, all the heroes that are in this community right now, we have all decided to put our families first today, okay? Not ourselves. So please don't start this if you can't keep your promises to your family. And only you know if you can do that. But if you do decide to do this, you will have earned a shot at having the most fulfilling life experience you've ever had, bar none. You will have earned a shot at winning the hearts of your children, your spouse, your in-laws, everyone back, and experiencing happily ever after love fast. This feeling right here, guys and gals, is more rewarding than all the awards, all the supercars, all the properties and the recognition from the world that we received, right? Because I achieved this right here, what you're looking at, and I continue to achieve it every day with my family. And you can do it too. So check this out, okay? This is what it looks like when you actually do this correctly. This is stick figure Vic, baby. Breaking free from all the nonsense, right? You see that small ball and chain there, right? It's no longer a big ball and chain. It's now a small ball and chain once you have the marriage hack. Every marriage problem now and in the future becomes a small problem. And you see that rope and flag there? That's the hack, okay? So even when we stumble, the rope and the flag ensures that we continue to win and succeed. This is how you prove to everyone, even yourself, that you aren't the loop, that you were just stuck in the loop. You got it? Watch this video.
Huh?
You see the difference there? Instead of him crawling up a hill, not knowing where he goes, we know exactly where you're going. And we know exactly which direction we're taking our marriage, right? To build the deepest marriage possible. This is the fastest way to do this. All right. You guys like that? Okay. Type a fire emoji if this is making sense to you. All right. Let's move on to secret number 2. You ready?